It's Tuesday, October 8th, 2013. I'm Alex Jones. Get ready for another original edition of teleprompter-free InfoWars Nightly News. Straight ahead.
Tonight, the tyranny of selective enforcement is in full swing as senior citizens are held at gunpoint at Yellowstone National Park. Meanwhile, an immigration rally is allowed to continue on the closed National Mall. Then, a government mind control center forces sixth graders to destroy the Bill of Rights because freedom is outdated. And Alex Jones sits down with the founder of Oath Keepers. Stuart Rhodes in studio up next on the InfoWars Nightly News.
I've got to be honest, I'm really stunned by the level of flagrant arrogance, bullying, and tyranny by the rogue federal government. I read local news articles out of the Eagle Tribune and others there in the region around Yosemite Park. And I read the description of the park guides and of the tourists that were visiting from Germany, Canada, Japan, you name it, of being checked into the hotel and paramilitary guards running around from the Park Service with guns yelling, "Lockdown, lockdown." And then the scared people came out of their hotel and they said, "Get back in, you're not allowed to leave until basically your time is up at the hotel. You're not allowed to even look at the park now that things are shut down." Buses would pull in and people would get off, seniors, and they would pull guns on them and say, "Get back on your bus." This is so absurdist, it's beyond any comedy that I could ever imagine. And the story's up on Infowars.com. Feds hold seniors at gunpoint during National Park shutdown. The local tour guide getting off the bus called it Gestapo tactics used to detain tourists in locked hotel. And the Germans and the Japanese and the Canadians are saying, "We're never coming back to America. We're running. Your country's in trouble." I mean, can you imagine running around going, "Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown"? Everybody's coming down in the lobby. What's going on in the privately run lodges? They're like, you know, you've got to leave or you're not allowed to come out of the hotel. And then people tried to leave and they wouldn't let them leave. I mean, this is just any excuse to lay their hands on us. I'm surprised America's fallen this far, but it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. World War II vets are saying they're going to storm barricades surrounding Iwo Jima Monument that is right off the side of the road. I've been there before. Right off the side of the road at Arlington Cemetery. Arlington Cemetery, they're even shutting parts of that down, ladies and gentlemen. And after veterans walk past the barricades of the Lincoln Memorial and the World War II Memorial, they've now wired it shut and put armed guards there, and they're arresting and ticketing people. And now, it was in the news today, if you jog on the sidewalk of federal property, you're not allowed to use the federal property that everybody paid for with tax money, and you are ticketed or arrested. You cannot make this level of garbage up. And then, as if it can't get any more Orwellian. Well, forget Orwellian. Orwell never thought of stuff like this. Hundreds of thousands of illegals and their supporters were allowed to have demonstrations today on the mall when no one else is allowed into it to visit any of the memorials. So citizens can't visit it, but the illegals are there for their, quote, civil right to have open borders. The globalists really just want to drive down wages and get rid of national sovereignty. Nothing against the illegals either. They're just fleeing countries collapsed by the globalists. I don't even blame them. But the point is that they're allowed to have First Amendment. Nobody else is. And they've had park rangers that aren't tyrants go public and say, quote, "We've been ordered by the administration to make life miserable, and it makes me sick. And it's disgusting." So this is the type of stuff that's going on. And it really shows you how rogue and out of control this government is, really trying to teach us that we're good little slaves, because they know we've woken up. They know the military and police are waking up. So they want to just try to dominate now and take over now and probably start a civil war now because they don't want us to peacefully take the country back. They know we're winning the info war, for common sense.
I'm Darren McBreen, and these are some of the new items that are available now at InfoWarsShop.com. Alert the public to Obama's blatant abuse of power with the new Obama t-shirt. Obama's Joker face on the front and come and take it on the back. It's time to publicly call him out for what he is, a tyrant. Defend the Second Amendment with our top seller Come and Take It t-shirts. And look at that, women's cut tank tops and t-shirts now available. Nice hat. Plus the Don't Tread on Me flag. And now you can become a micro distributor of the InfoWars magazine. Plus, get your own copy delivered right to your door each and every month. And if you're tired like I am of you and your family being exposed to polluted drinking water, get the Pro One high-performance water filter. It gets rid of all pathogenic bacteria, cyst, fluoride, heavy metals, and numerous other contaminants. So join the revolution at InfoWarsShop.com.
Now, shifting gears to something even crazier. 6th grade assignment, destroy the Bill of Rights. Kit Daniels found this on the constitutional assignment of the school year. This is federally paid for, like Common Core. 2 + 2 = 5. That's what they say. I'm not kidding. 2 + 2 = 5, or you're racist. 6th grade assessment. Destroy the Bill of Rights, rewrite it to not be evil, and to accept the Patriot Act and the war on terror, to accept secret arrest and torture. I mean, this is what they teach children in America, because they've determined it's outdated. Now, I want to go to the next report here, just dealing with all of this. Soon, drones may be able to make lethal decisions on their own. They've already come out in the last 5 years in England, Europe, and the U.S. with autonomous drones. They're already operating. Now they're just announcing it to the good little slaves that they will decide when to kill you. They will decide. And in the Homeland Security training videos, it shows drones taking out 2 American redneck types, selling each other guns in a field. So this is the type of just tyranny on steroids that we're dealing with. And then continuing with Warren Buffett, the biggest recipient for Berkshire Hathaway and Wells Fargo that he owns and controls, of $400+ billion in taxpayer money the last 5 years, since 2008. He's the guy that lobbies to raise poor people and middle classes' taxes, saying tax rich people more when he wrote the laws to exempt himself to get more of your tax money. It's the ultra rich, above the law, taxing the nouveau riche, the new wealthy, the working class, the blue collar, you name it. And they're taxing everybody with dollar devaluation that's accelerating. New article out, Buffett reaps $10 billion from crisis era investments just this year. This is how the insiders work. And then he comes out and says he wants to help. He wants to help everybody. And we're back, my friends. We have a new segment weekly on the show called Land of the Free, Home of the Brave. Because only in the nanny state, good old US of A, have they banned dodgeball, cartwheels in the last decade all over the country, and now shaking hands or patting someone on the back. I mean, Supermax prisons are the only place that are this bad. This is the tyranny of the trendiness. And now in Long Island, in New York, in New Jersey, they're banning bringing footballs, anything, to school because you might get hurt. And Time Magazine makes a joke of saying, you know, don't bring your balls, stop playing with your balls. But this is deadly serious. They're training children that if they say bang, bang, they get arrested. It's a thought crime. You can't write an English class about your dad who's in the Army and has an M16. You're arrested. There's no law against writing about that. These are authoritarians setting the precedent. Just like in California and Pennsylvania, they've caught the schools watching kids over government-issued laptops at home. And then no one gets in trouble. I mean, it's beyond 1984. And let me give you a little tidbit here. Tomorrow on the radio, we're going to air the video that was shot today of 14 out of 20 Austinites signing a petition. The organization's called Chumps. I'm not joking. This is how dumb they are. with a petition saying, chumps, to make everyone wear helmets to walk around or you're arrested. Okay? And if your kids don't wear helmets at all times, you're going to be arrested. So, and as long as we said it's for Obama, 14 out of 20 Austinites signed it. Leanne has coined a new term called libertarianist. Is that how you pronounce it, Leanne? That's right. And she would, a few libertarians she ran into said, no, I think you shouldn't have to wear a helmet. And she told them, you're libertarianist. And then they got very upset. So that's going to be on the radio tomorrow /TV, and then we'll have excerpts on the Nightly News as well on the Wednesday edition. But this is the level of brainwashing we're talking about. Now, I want to go out to break here, because after the news tonight, we're going to have a special report with the land commissioner who's going to back armed citizens marching at the Alamo, because that's Texas law. You can open carry, the Second Amendment. But the San Antonio police chief says he's going to arrest anybody that exercises their Second Amendment. We're going to have reporters there coming up in a week and a half in San Antonio. So here's that clip as we go out to break and come back with Stuart Rhodes in studio.
This isn't about violating people's rights. It's not about gun control. It's not about politics. It's about the state law. If the firearm is carried in a manner calculated to cause alarm. And in the officer's opinion at the Starbucks, this was the case, and that's why he was. Those people were cited.
Many anthropologists and archaeologists believe that before man even discovered the power to harness and use fire, we were involved in agrarian activities. That is, taking the seeds of plants and then replanting them to produce more. The very foundation of our modern civilization and human culture is centered around the planting and cultivation of edible plants.
Here are some of the amazing deals at InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com.
The Survival Seed Vault by My Patriot Supply features only the finest survival heirloom seeds for a robust and hardy garden, even in the toughest times. We also have starter varieties of the deluxe seed packages for fruit, salad, salsa, peppers, medical herbs, and more.
Go to the InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com.
And remember, the revolution against tyranny is growing.